I'm Jessica Sterling. I'm a working photographer based here in Los Angeles for the last 10 years. Some of my clients include AT&T, DIRECTV, the Dodgers, LA Mayor's office. I've gotten to photograph some really amazing people like Justin Timberlake, Hugh Jackman, Ashton Kutcher. I love helping other artists get where they want to go with their career and their work.
So Jessica, you do a ton of events in portraiture. Yeah. What is it that you really love about those genres?
Well, I love people. I love photographing people and being around them and being invited into their world. I've gotten to learn about what it is that they love and what they care about and help them communicate that with the world.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned this, but one of the biggest challenges is getting people to feel comfortable, because a lot of people are uncomfortable on
And that's
camera.
like everybody. Nobody likes getting their picture taken.
Nobody likes it. Some people do, but very few, right? So what's your secret sauce? What do you do?
Well, I talk to people as I'm photographing them, because I think it's really easy when you're getting your picture taken. I hate getting my picture taken. So like you kind of start like looking inward too much. You get super like, "Ugh." So what I do is I talk to people and I encourage them and tell them how awesome they look. And I try not to like make it sound like I'm kind of overinflating them.
Yeah.
But you know, you don't know when you're being photographed how you look. It's impossible to tell. So I tell somebody, you know, hey, that's awesome. You know, that's great. You know, put your arm like this. Oh, fantastic. I love that. That's really good. Okay, bring your chin down. And if I see something that's non-optimum, then I don't say, oh, that looks bad. Because when I was a teenager, I modeled briefly, right? So I kind of am a little comfortable, have a little bit of experience on the other side of the camera. And it was really weird. You know, like people would say something like, oh, that looks, oh, don't do that. And you'd be like, what? So then you feel like a jerk the rest of the shoot, you know? So I try to just stay positive and encouraging and never say no.
Would you tell us about some of your images and the story and how you got them?
Sure, I love this shot. This is Giselle Wellman. She's, at that time, was the youngest executive chef in LA.
Wow.
Top 30 under 30. She went on to do Top Chef. She had worked with some of the top chefs in the world. And I met her and I was like, how can you're so awesome. Like, what's the deal? So I wanted to take a picture of her in a way that was a little bit maybe unusual and kind of express something. Because, you know, people think chefs, they think food, they think a table maybe, or I don't know, standing there with their arms crossed, which is, you know, it's cool. But I walked around her kitchen with her and I said, she showed me the freezer. It's called a walk-in.
Yeah.
And she said that it's kind of the only private place that a chef has in the kitchen, because they can go in there, to cool off, literally and figuratively. And so I thought, this is perfect. And she just got the biggest kick out of it. She was like, this is so weird. And the cool thing about it too is it's all Nikon speedlights.
And how did you place them?
Well, I had two behind her, one on either side, just kind of tucked away back there in the food, pointing up. And then I had a soft lighter.
Okay.
Umbrella, you know, those flat kind of umbrellas where it bounces the light back into some silver and then back through some diffusion. And I placed it on the side, so it's sort of like a window.
Okay.
And kind of close. And it wasn't actually pointing at her, it was pointing sort of like, like as if there was a window next to her.
And you really like working with speedlights, right?
I love it. I love the freedom that they offer. You can go anywhere. You don't have to worry about electricity. You don't have to worry about some like heavy light like falling on somebody's head. You know, like you know, you can just sort of stick them places. So if you look at something, you're like, man, I would really like to have just a little bit more pop right there. You know, you can just put a light there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I use radio transmitters personally because I like them to always fire.
So here's the thing, you guys. I've invited Jessica to be a coach and a host on Advancing Your Photography. Give me a piece of advice. I want to transition from my day job to being a professional photographer. Where should I start?
Okay. Well, one thing is, you know, okay, to back up a little bit, a lot of people that I talk to about this subject, they say something like, I don't know if my work is good enough. And it drives me crazy. It's like, you are not the judge of whether or not your work is good enough. And that's such a impossible dream, you know, impossible scale. Your work is like never good enough. It's an absolute, and there are no absolutes. And so I look at it like, is your work good enough that somebody will hire you? And that they will be excited and happy about it. I love it when my photographs are used, you know, if they're used on a brochure, a website, a press release, a billboard, whatever, you know, they love it and they want to show people. To me, that's like, it's huge.
I think we all as artists get sort of beaten down sometimes,
Yeah.
or discouraged, like
Yeah.
what do you do to pull yourself out of that kind of thing?
Well, frankly, anybody who says something and then you walk away and you feel that sick feeling in your stomach,
Yeah.
dude, cut them out of your life. Dude, you just got to cut them out of your life because they're not helpful to you. I mean, if you want somebody to give you critique on your work and that type of thing, the person who's telling you better be really good and really experienced and not a jerk either.
So what do you run into coaching other artists? What are their hang-ups?
They go, oh, I'm not like really good at talking about myself. Like, I don't know how to like put myself out there. And I'm like, well, dude, you are going to starve to death. Because you have to talk about your work. You don't have to talk about yourself,
Right.
but it's like a product. And I think the more that you can kind of disassociate your worries and like, I don't know, I'm so shy, from your product that you're making, which is something, that's the thing that people will enjoy,
Yeah.
is your pictures.
So Jessica, where do you want to go with your show?
Well, for you people at home, I want you to know that if you're passionate about what you do, dude, get off your butt. And know that it is your duty to share that with people around you. You know, it's not everybody is an artist, and not everybody's a good artist, and not everybody's as good an artist as you are. So to me, it's you have to get out there and share it. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Except what you
That
just
end
did. So Jessica, any final tips you want to leave these guys with?
Well, like I said, when I'm photographing people, which is pretty much all the time, you have to talk to them. I also direct them within an inch of their life. And if I'm lost too, like myself, I'm like, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I keep having them move till I find something that looks great. Yeah, and you know, a shot doesn't just always happen right off. You have to kind of develop it.
Yeah.
And just keep working it and keep working it. And I think a lot of new photographers, they don't shoot enough. That being said, I'm also very fast, and I know my equipment really well. So I just bam, 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 great, thank you, we're done. And they're like, whoa. And they're happy, and they're like, that was so fun and not painful. I'm so surprised, you know, that type of thing.
Well, on that note, guess what?
What?
We're done.
We're done.
Thank you for joining
Thanks,
us
Mark.
on Advancing Your Photography and
pleasure.
being a future coach with your own show. And be sure you guys leave your comments down here for Jessica. She will answer them. Hit that like button also. And subscribe so you don't miss any of our future episodes, right?
Yes.
And remember to get out and capture your own images of life. Ba-bum.